Hello, YouTube. March 1st. Jeremy here. Roughly 4:18 p.m. And a rather interesting occurrence just happened. So, yesterday and today, I suppose, I was contacted through email by my ex regarding my daughter and her visiting. She was saying that my daughter is going to be spending the weekend with me, which normally I wouldn't have a problem with. Normally I'd be happy to take her in and have the weekend. However, right now, watching her for her visitation for roughly 4 or so hours, her mother has been random at the time she gets picked up. And aside from that, my income is still only food stamps. So I haven't been able to replenish things like dish soap, toilet paper, the essentials. And I told her mother that I wasn't comfortable having her for a full weekend because there's a possibility I would run out of the dish soap because there's barely any left in the container, and roughly a roll and a half of toilet paper. And I didn't want my daughter to have dirty dishes or not have what she needs when she goes to the bathroom. To this, her mother gets extremely hostile, says, well, your income is not my problem, and refuses to continue the subject. So yesterday and today have been rather stressful for me. I go to check my mail today, oddly enough, from the department that issues Social Security. There's a letter with her name on it. My ex, not my daughter. I come back upstairs. Luckily, I have signal to email her, and I tell her I have mail for her. So 10 or 15 minutes later, she comes pounding on my door. I go and answer it, and very abruptly she says, I got an email about you having my mail. So I let her in, I go and get it, I give it to her, and aggressively she starts harping about how basically how I had an income using the GI Bill to go to school and to support myself, and I should have saved more than I did. Essentially bringing up past things that don't change anything going forward. I can understand her frustration. It's things that I deal with daily, things that my mind is always turning over. Why didn't I? Why couldn't I? Things of that nature. However, personally, I think she just wants to have the weekend to herself. Um, it isn't enough that she gets the Tuesday night and Friday night without my daughter for a few hours. She wants to have more of a social life. So now she's angry because I won't take my daughter. And she's using my daughter almost like not blackmail. I know part of me wants to say that, but she's using my daughter as leverage, saying, oh, well, in the future, she's going to realize that you don't want to spend time with her. She's going to realize how much you dropped the ball on taking care of her. Now, when I have her, we talk about that. We talk about how I don't have money. Now, mind you, my daughter is 5 years old. So, what she understands as a 5-year-old. She knows I love her. She freely admits she loves me, and she loves spending time with me. Though at night, she wants to be home. She wants to be with her mom, which at that age I can understand. Some children, regardless of it being a parent or a friend, some children at that age have separation anxiety. I remember my good friend growing up. I would have her want to spend the night, and she would agree, and her mother, which is like a second mother to me, um, she would say, fine, I'll pick her up at this time. And whenever it was to go to bed, my friend would have panic attacks. She would cry uncontrollably, and she wanted to be home. Um, these things happen. So what prompted this video is, as I said, I was extremely stressed out. The only tobacco that I currently have abundance of is Mixture 79. And I wanted something with a little more body, or a little more, I guess, kick. So I took some of that, put that in my estate pipe, my show de Pilha, Paho, and don't know Italian well enough to be able to remember that name for some odd reason. But my number two. And after that, I put a few pinches. I'm being very sparing with my last little bit of bow-legged bear. So I put a small little bit of that in, and then a slice of my last cigar, which is Honduran leaf, and then a little more mixture 79, a few more small pinches of the liquid bear, and another cigar slice, and then topped it off with mixture 79. And I was sitting outside smoking it. A few doors down from me, somebody walks up and goes there to, I guess, visit somebody or drop something off for them, or I don't know. But I had never seen the man. So I would say he's probably in his 30s. But as he was leaving, he stopped and asked what I had in there because he liked the smell of it. And I said, well, it's a few different things, and I named off what it was. And he said he had picked up pipe tobacco from a local discount cigarette place, and said that he was normally a cigarette smoker. So, you know, we all have our places, I suppose. And after that, he said that he really did like the smell of it and wished me a good day, and off he went. So I finished the bowl, and I'm still a little stressed out about the ex and the situation, but I thought not too many people in the YTPC that I know of do that, make mixtures on their own. Now, there are some people that buy the blends that have tobacco leaf in it, but I've never seen a video or review of something that they just threw together. Except for one blend the Dagners took with them after the hurricane came through recently. But that's the Dagners, and that's kind of what they do, is throw stuff together and see if it works. But I didn't want this video to be a rant or anything like that. I mostly wanted to share that if you are going to add a cigar to your tobacco, make it probably about the thickness of maybe a nickel, in like thickness, not, diameter. And the reason I say that, the reason I thought to cut it into slices is because one night I was having this cigar and I thought, well, I can put it out or I can keep going until it burns my fingers, my lips, because it's so close. So I tried taking a corn cob, but it was a second, and I knew I wasn't going to smoke because I didn't really like that particular model of it, and it didn't work. Um, Wasted quite a bit of matches trying to get it to work, but it didn't. So that led me to cutting it into slices. As a side note, one of the videos that I watched regarding bartering or things to stock up on if you're prepping is any kind of tobacco, whether it's cigarettes, cigars, pipe tobacco, and many of the YTPC do have an abundance of tobacco, both for pipe and some for cigar. The reason being, if the economy goes south and nothing is available anywhere because of, say, rioting or looting, or just plain regular sales, it'll all be in short supply. So if you do have an abundance, you'd be able to use that as a payment. I'll give you this pack, these 3 packs of cigarettes for this much food, or I'll give you 2 cigars for some water, and then negotiate how much water and such. That really made me think, there are several of us that are awake and have started prepping, and if you do have an abundance, that might be something that'll help you in the long run as far as getting what you need. For those of you that might have ammo, you can maybe trade a half a tin of pipe tobacco for enough rounds to fill your clip or fill your magazine, or a handful of rounds. So just something I thought of and figured this would be a place to share it. I hope everybody's well. I know I saw the PGs are in Italy. I hope if they see this video, if they have a moment to watch the video, I hope they're doing well. I hope everybody's family is well. And I guess that'll be it for now. Until next time, my friends. Bye.